Hi, my name is Lolita, former Wayne State softball player, late 80s, early 90s. Little did I know that at the time of my life where just trying to play some ball, try to have some fun, enjoy college, little did I know that that was the time that I would get to be influenced by some of the most amazing people in my life, one of which is Gary Bryce. Um, at that time, just trying to have fun, and I could just say that I did have a great time, but not knowing that Gary would instill some of the most structured discipline, great foundational behaviors of what makes me great as a person today. Did I realize that I would learn that playing some ball in my teen years? No, but his integrity, his ability to show up every day with that winning attitude, and the discipline and hard work that goes with it, to teach you those life lessons when at that age, who really cares? You just want to have fun. But today, I will tell you, as a multi-million-dollar business leader, I influence thousands of people as a territory trainer and teacher. And it's those same fundamental behaviors that I learned from Gary and the coaches many years ago that I apply today. And I can't tell you thank you enough for what you've provided to me and a gift you gave me then. Little did I realize that it would be an impactful one in my life. Thank you, Gary.
Good morning. This is Jean Wilcox Bannister. I played at Wayne State from 1990 through the 1993 seasons. During my time at Wayne, we had some pretty darn good softball teams, and we honestly can owe it all to Gary and his trusty sidekick, Pat. I can't say enough about Gary and what we learned as players at Wayne State. Wayne State ended up being the perfect spot for me to develop as a person, a player, a coach, a teacher, and all of that I owe to Wayne State softball. Gary has a lot of sayings, and his former players, we call them Garyisms. And one of the favorite sayings, or the saying that I use the most that I got from Gary, was, "It's all about the little things." Gary is a firm believer that if you don't do the little things right, the big things will never happen. Well, Gary, you are correct. Another thing Gary I can't say enough about is he is always there for you. It's been 27 years since I played at Wayne State, yet Gary and Pat are still a big part of my life. When I lost a loved one, they were there at the funeral. They attended both of my son's open houses. They attended a football game to watch my older son play. And when I'm coaching, usually at least once a year, I can look over on the sidelines and find either Gary, Pat, or both of them. And I'll tell you what, Gary always has some advice for me. And usually I listen because, after all, Gary will always be my coach. The advice he usually gives me is, "Jean, you need the bunt. Play the small ball." And I hate to say it, Gary, but you are usually right. Coaching today is a tough occupation. Not a lot of coaches stick around at one place for too long, no matter if it's the college level, the high school level. And Gary has been at Wayne State for the long haul. Why? Because he's not a quitter. He teaches his players never to give up. He teaches his players not to quit, and he is a perfect example of that. I cannot say enough about Gary and Pat and how they've impacted my life. I love them both dearly. They mean the world to me. Whatever awards, accolades, good words that have been said about them, I would completely agree with. Thank you.
Gary was the kind of coach who would set the bar high and expect you to achieve that. It was great to play under a coach like that who, expected you to show up every day and do the best that you could, and pushed you and fully expected, had faith in you that, we were all good players and that you could achieve those goals. I think Gary went after good people to get on his team, and I think that made a great experience for those of us who were lucky enough to be a part of his teams. I also think that that's reflected in his coaching staff with the long-term nature of his relationship with people. It's because he goes after quality people, and they're willing to ride out the times with him. Pat obviously has been with Gary a long time, and Jack before that, and then to have former players come on and stick around like Coley, I think it just kind of speaks to Gary's character, that people like to be around him and are willing to follow his lead over the course.
When I think about my 4 years playing softball for the Wayne State Athletic Department and for Pat and Gary, I think about the team's success. I think about the relationships I had with my teammates. I think about the GLIAC tournaments and the championships that we won. I think about going to the World Series, and I think about all the success that we had. But even more than the games we won and the success that we had led by Gary's coaching, I think about what I took away from my time playing for Gary and the life lessons that he taught me, and that have made me a better person today. And for that, I'm truly grateful. The couple things that stick out to me, Gary had a lot of sayings or isms, if you will, and one of them was the bottom line: did you do it? Did you get the job done? He was big on us taking ownership and responsibility for our actions, and that's something that I've continued to work on, and it's something that is important to me in my daily life and in my career today. Just making sure that I'm taking ownership over my mistakes so that I can get better and improve. And another thing that sticks out is it's about the little things. Gary was big on us doing the little things on a day-to-day basis. He, told us often that if we can't do the little things and be successful, then we were never going to be able to do those big things, whether it be on the field or off the field. And, whether that be taking care of our equipment or picking up trash, doing community service, Gary instilled in us that it was important to be good people and make sure that we're taking care of those little things so that we could be successful. And one thing that I remember about Gary is that he was the best model. He practiced what he preached. He'd be the first one to pick up the tiniest wrapper in the dugout, or he would take the equipment and help us get it to the field or from the bus to the field. He never would ask us to do anything that he wasn't willing to do himself, and because of that, I think it brought us together closer as a team, and I think it made us better people.